Imagine waking up one morning only to find that everything is silent. No lights, no internet, no phone service, no way to even cook your breakfast. What would happen if the US power grid collapsed? And more importantly, how likely is this to happen? The US power grid is the lifeblood of modern society, powering everything from homes to hospitals to factories. It's an interconnected network stretching across 50 states with more than 3,000 utilities and thousands of miles of power lines. Natural disasters are one of the biggest threats to the power grid. Extreme weather events like hurricanes, wildfires, ice storms, and flooding have been intensifying due to climate change. These events already cause massive disruptions. For example, in 2020, a single hurricane knocked out power for millions of people, and the risk is only getting worse as the planet warms. But it's not just nature we need to worry about. Cyber attacks are an increasingly serious threat. In 2020, the US government reported more than 70 cybersecurity incidents targeting the power grid. Some experts warn that a coordinated cyber attack could take down the grid for days, weeks, or even longer. A cyber attack on critical infrastructure could shut down power plants, disable backup systems, and cause massive financial losses. And then there's the threat of an electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. This is a burst of energy, whether from a solar flare or a nuclear detonation, that could fry the delicate electronics that control the grid. While the likelihood of a massive EMP event is low, its impact would be catastrophic. And current defense systems against EMPs are limited, leaving the grid exposed. If the power grid were to collapse, the consequences would be devastating. A large-scale failure would cripple essential services. Hospitals would be unable to provide life-saving care. Emergency responders would be powerless to assist. Transportation would come to a halt. Grocery stores would run out of food within days. Water supplies would dry up or become contaminated. Basic survival, something we take for granted, would become a fight. And here's the chilling reality. Experts say that a power grid failure could last anywhere from weeks to months. In a country that relies so heavily on electricity, that's an eternity. And during that time, we'd see widespread panic, looting, and social unrest. For many, survival would become a daily struggle. One of the most dangerous aspects of the grid is its interdependence. The entire country is linked by a fragile network of power lines. If one region goes down, it can set off a chain reaction, spreading the collapse to other parts of the country. Think of it like a row of dominoes. If one falls, they all fall. While a grid collapse is unlikely to wipe out humanity, it could put millions of lives at risk, especially in densely populated areas. The longer the grid stays down, the harder it will be to restore normal life. And recovery will require a level of coordination and resources that may not be readily available. So what can we do? The good news is we can take steps to protect ourselves. Experts say we need to strengthen our grid, build more resilient infrastructure, and invest in alternative energy sources like solar and wind, which can help us weather these crises. On an individual level, preparing for a power outage, whether through backup generators, emergency kits, or community networks, is more important than ever. But this won't be easy. The risk of a grid collapse is growing, and the consequences would be catastrophic. It's time we take this threat seriously. The question isn't if the grid will fail, but when. And the more prepared we are, the better we can protect ourselves and those we love. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates on how to stay safe in an uncertain world.